American Cornhole Organization. Yeah, it's a real thing since 2005. Find out how to play, where to play, and compete nationwide. Scan now to join the ACO family at AmericanCornhole.com. The ACO. We are Cornhole.
The Nook. Spooky Nook. Hamilton, Ohio.
There ain't no red lights out.
Over 500 singles players assembled here in Hamilton, Ohio. The best of the best of the best. Over 70 ACO pros are here. They were playing for the frame game qualifier to the final bracket of 16 for the Pro Series skins coming up at a little later in the afternoon. Maybe tied with our first love is the beer garden. Vendors and Vendor Row.
We can burn this old dirt road like a racetrack, or we can turn the key and let the seas lay way back. Count the midnight windshield stars, watch the sunrise in my arms. If we don't go nowhere, girl, I wouldn't hate that. I can drive you from this holler to Hollywood.
Hi, I'm Rich Pyle, the host of Hole Nation, where we share everything this cornhole and a lot more. Follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and catch our new videos every Wednesday at 7. And remember, whether it's sticky or slick side down, bring it.
What do you say, Holeheads? Welcome to Taco Tuesday. Finn, the loudmouth for the ACO, side by side with Frank Geers, the Cornhole Dude. There you go. That's the official theme song of Taco Tuesday. Hang on one second.
Man, it's good.
Indeed.
Welcome, Holeheads. Here we go.
That's right. Here we go. And boy, before we start, I mean, it seems like now every week, first thing we got to start with is weather. Again, if you are down in the Florida Peninsula down there, I mean, I know, and even if you're not, you've got friends or family. Hopefully, they have made the proper arrangements to get out of Dodge. If it's going to be, that's a pretty wide swath coming in there at Tampa Bay and Bradenton and Sarasota and whatnot. I've got family on the East Coast of Florida, and they're looking at 8 to 12 inches of water possibly in the house on the east side. So hopefully all is well. Hopefully you've been able to get out and get to a place that's safe. Hopefully this will be the end of this for this year. But again, as always, check in and let us know how you and your loved ones are doing, and make sure that we stay on top of that. So I'm looking forward to the day when we don't start the taco
with weather issues.
With weather
it's either
problems.
Tornadoes through Oklahoma or Mississippi or Arkansas,
through the heartland, and I mean between mudslides, wildfires. It's almost like the Mother Nature's trying to tell us something. I don't know. Maybe she just wants it back. But anyway, the bottom line is just be safe. The hot topic for us this week is a tip of the hat to everybody that came out to be a part of the party at Spooky Nook in Hamilton, Ohio. Just such a great facility, and so great to see so many people come out. And really, we saw a lot of new faces, a lot of familiar faces we hadn't seen yet through our 8th major, believe it or not, of the season. So many new faces. We're going to get to the results here in just a little while, but man, oh man, it was so cool. I think Stuart Graham, I met his brother and a friend who came up from Virginia. They had a blast. I talked to them on the way out. A couple of guys rolled in from South Carolina who used to play in another league, and I said, we drove up. We wanted to come see this. I said, were you affected by Helene? And they said, yeah. In fact, maybe you could help us out. We didn't have any electricity, so we couldn't register for doubles but in time.
Jeez.
So we went over and got them
Made
registered
sure that they were taken
for
care
doubles,
of.
but they seemed like they had a blast. Saw them at the bar, at the hotel bar, having dinner and having a good time with the bartenders as well. So it was great to see so many new faces and so many smiling faces that we hadn't seen in a minute, at least since the Worlds. So that was awesome. And I tell you, anybody else that you knew that came in that was their first major, saw a lot of first timers. Every single person said and they tell you this later, but I just was made to feel so welcome. and I had a great time, and they hung out and played in every single possible thing that they could play in. So kudos to you, the ACO family, for making that possible. And again, to the crew who we're going to recognize here in a moment, an expanded crew, a growing crew. It takes a bigger crew to do a bigger event like this. So we'll get to that here in a moment. Our bag partners were in full effect. We had a whole bunch of bag partners, not only scrolling along the bottom here, but they're set up as vendors. We'll recognize them here in just a moment. But welcome to 3 new ACO stamped and approved bag partner. Well, waiting to be stamped and approved. They have applied, but ultimately Angry Asian Cornhole KVLR bags. I don't know if that's supposed to be pronounced Kevlar, but it's KVLR. And also Stovations Cornhole. Waiting to get them finally approved, but just joining in to the ACO family, as well. And glad to have you along for the ride. We've got you already down there in the scroll, so hopefully everything gets approved.
Boom.
But
get your bags in.
Yeah, we will get to those who were there on site and look ahead to those who are going to be on site with us this coming weekend. Don't forget, subscribe if you're watching via YouTube. And we're seeing, I mean, we talked about this beforehand, more and more watching on YouTube when we're streaming. And honestly, the picture quality that YouTube puts out is much better. There's some weird thing going on with Facebook or Meta or whatever the hell it's called today. But they're constantly changing settings.
They
and
are.
different things. And when you get it figured out, and then you don't have it figured out. And then you get it figured out, and then you don't have it figured out. I'd be honest with you, I'd watch it on YouTube. It's easier to put it up on the big screen, and it's easier to put up on the big screen, and it looks good.
And it looks crisper.
The bottom line
TV,
is,
man,
when you're doing that, hit that subscribe button and make sure you ring the bell so that you get notifications when new content is popping up. If you want to be part of the push texting, as we like to remind you, all you have to do is text ACO to the following number, and then and put this number in your contacts as ACO text, and that way when it pops up, you'll know it's not spam or you're not getting something from Kamala Harris. I've gotten a handful of Kamala Harris texts asking for money, and did I show you this? I'm gonna have to show you this. While I was at Spooky Nook, I actually, hang on, let me find this. While we were calling a match, and I felt bad because I was really thinking maybe I should answer this. But I got a call from Donald Trump. I saved
How's
it.
he doing?
I didn't have a chance to talk to him. I'm sorry, I had to send in a voicemail. But I got a. Let's see if I can find. Come on, I know you're in here. But Donald Trump called me during the tournament. So anyway, bottom line is, just so you don't end up with that stuff, and you know it's us that's sending you the message, put it in as ACO text. Text ACO to the following number. It's 1-833-695-1318, 833-695-1318. And when we have updates that we think you need to know about right away, schedule changes, things like that, something we might have added or subtracted from the calendar or moved or postponed, which may be the case depending upon the weather in some places that we typically are going. As far as we know now, first weekend of November, Destin, Fort Walton Beach, still in good shape, ready to go. Our first time there, right?
First time there. We're actually starting to try to plan possibly a pre-party on that Thursday night, so we'll keep it posted. Something that we're talking about right now.
And again, hopefully weather-wise, everything cooperates and we're good to go there. And that's really sort of the replacement event for the Panama City Beach, where the venue got bought out from under us. They didn't ask us, but the bottom line is Destin, Fort Walton Beach. No, we would not have approved. I don't know that they would have held on to the ownership for us for 2 days out of 365. Nevertheless, Fort Walton Beach said, come on down. So
we would have made a run at it, though.
So we are. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. The poster graphics have been posted on the Facebook page usually Monday, but we had so many tiers. We're trying to figure out how to do our tier stuff.
I love those.
But
those are so cool.
These graphics look great. And here's something else I would say. If you win a division, know that we want to take your picture. Don't vamoose immediately. Those who have won before pretty much are accustomed to the photo. But if you're a new winner, know that when we give you your trophies, we want to get a picture of you so we can celebrate you the following week. So you can check out that graphic as well and start saving them.
And if you're a tier winner, right, we still want to take your photograph. How we use it, we haven't figured out exactly this year. We have some ideas on what we want to do there. But even if we just take your photo and send it off to you, that you can share with your friends and stuff like that. But we're taking the tier photos too.
Yeah.
So don't, like you said, run away until we get your photograph.
And one of the things, when you look at this poster, the major primary divisions that we've always featured are going to be the photographs, and including, and in fact, as a matter of fact, I think Batman and Hot Wheels split out. I did see a picture that they posted, but it had all kinds of graphics and everything all over it. But we didn't get one of them. But at Adaptive, Pro Series, anything like that, and the photos up top, if you were a tier winner or the Bagmaster Quads winner, you'll be listed down below. If you want to go from tier to photo, all you got to do is win. And that's a nice another additional incentive to win. Thanks to our crew in Spooky Nook. Couldn't have done it without you. Brian Jones, Mia Ray, Jesse and Barry Hempy, Craig Irvin, Russell Tabers, the Williamses. Isaac Hurt was stepping in. He was, I tell you, for a royalty, he's threw a couple of boards around there.
We have a couple kings that are slinging the boards around,
yes, we
man.
do.
Mr. Irvin's doing it as well, man.
Yep, Tiffany Sparks, appreciate your help. Clinton Bilo, Sean Priest, the usual suspects. It took a village, if you will, to set up in Hamilton, and it was good stuff. And how about our bag partners? Elite, thank you guys. Lucky's, IMF, B-Dubs Cornhole, BW Cornhole, Gusto, Bullseye Cornhole, CBC, True Cornhole, Ruthless, and Big Daddy Cornhole, all in the house. And Gary and Darian were there, custom making ACO gear, some cool new hoodies and some different things, new golf towels and some other things there.
A couple new golf towels, I saw a few hoodies going out. It's getting into hoodie season, buddy.
Yeah. Well, in most of these venues, it's hoodie season all year round, so it's always nice to have.
Unless you're at OCC Roadhouse.
Yes, yes, correct. But even then, I guarantee there was somebody wearing a wool cap. I don't get it, but whatever. And very special thanks to Haley Clark. We've been waiting for this moment after she had finally finished her run on MasterChef Generations with Gordon Ramsay. She couldn't really talk about everything. She couldn't even tell us how far she got into the competition, even though it was pre-recorded. She made it into the top 10. Saw her for the first time, she and Neil, and asked her if she would come over and spend some time with us. And she sat down with Phil and yours truly during one of the matches and just sat and really talked about what it was like to be on a TV show, on a reality show. Very different than other reality shows because it involves food and crispness and freshness and all these different things. So I was very interested to ask her about the making of the show itself, and we found out some pretty cool things.
Yeah, you told me. I actually want to go back. I did not get to listen to it because I was there helping to run the tournament and stuff this weekend, but I heard you said it was really intriguing, some of the comments and stuff that she was able to feed to you after the show.
Yeah, and she was free to talk about all of it, which is interesting, too. I'm surprised that they let them talk as openly as they do, but she talked about being out in the rock quarry and serving. She said that was the first time that every guest had been served and nothing was sent back in the history of the show, which was cool, but they cut that out for some reason. She talked about, I asked her, I said, by the time you make your food and it gets presented to the judge, once they pick the dishes that they want, it has to be cold, right? And she goes, yeah, it is. And I didn't know that. And then I always thought that after they were done, they were told, take your hands off, whatever. You know, you still had a chance to go in and pretty your dish up. She's like, no.
They shut it down, boom.
That's it. If you forgot an ingredient, whatever, that's it. You don't go in and clean up the edges, nothing. So, like, I did see someone go, it smells good, it looks a mess, or it tastes good, but it was a disaster of presentation. But there are some interesting insights on what it's like to shoot a TV show. There were a couple of the female contestants in different generations that, for religious reasons, they could not taste their own food when they were building, because of the beer. They did beer one time. They incorporated Blue Moon. And she goes, no, she says somebody else from their generation would have to taste it for them. And she talks about the only feedback she, as a competitor, is allowed to give. It's interesting. If you get a chance to go back and see it, thanks again, Haley Clark. It was good to see she and Neil there this weekend. And our next Pro Series is going to be Thanksgiving weekend. It's going to be a mad rush on that Friday morning to get everything set up and ready to go. We may adjust the schedule a little bit, but everybody will be told well in advance. And that's going to be in South Bend, Indiana. That is going to be our second Pro Series major. But I think it's time that we recognize our, unless you have somebody in the comments that you want to say hey to us.
I want to say hey to a couple. We got Craig Smith from the UK
right on.
chiming in, baby, as always, man. And Lynn Longwell, who couldn't make it down, but Her boy Jay did.
Jay did.
So,
we were asking about you, Lynn. He said you couldn't make it. You wanted to. Wasn't feeling well. A little bit under the weather, maybe.
I think she was at home doing what she does, and that's rules the house, man.
Oh well. Anyway, you were missed, and I think Jay had a good time. But
she runs everything up there, cornhole for the ACO, man. She's
question.
killing it.
Yeah, up around the Buffalo area,
baby.
Surrounding areas. But thanks to Lynn and Jay Longwell, is out and about cornhole, I believe, is their group. So appreciate that. From a results standpoint, Phil had a pretty good weekend, I think. In women's singles, Kennedy Meineke double dipped Kim Dice, so congratulations there. In seniors, it was Johnny Thomas. I believe he double dipped Mick Hoaxang. And I want to say that there were a couple of revenge matches in there as well, because I think Kim put Kennedy in the losers bracket, and I want to say Mick put Johnny in the losers bracket. Caleb Rogers took down Isaac Hurt, the reigning king, in the juniors. Congrats. He did that in one. He was in the king seed. He did it in one. Taylor Owens and Dustin Arant took down Kim Dice and Nate Stevens for the co-ed title. In adaptive doubles, we talked about it. Matthew Davis, Batman, and Russell Love, again, taking another purple jersey there. I know Nelson's dying to get that first purple jersey. And his game's gotten actually a lot better at that distance. And it was fun to celebrate his birthday with him. Again, Bagmaster Quads, Team TNT, congratulations on taking the championship there. And in the big blind draw, it was Mick Hoaxang and Justin Gibson. So well done there. In the Pro Series, and I'll tell you what, the Pro Series, I know Philip was thrilled to death. He threw lights out. I think he threw a 150 frame game, and he was sitting atop the leaderboard for quite some time. Or no, I think it was actually
It was in the four. It was. I think it was 146,
maybe 146, because I think 150 was Isaac and maybe Zach Dawson. There were two at 150, but Isaac came in as the number one seed. We did the thing that I think everybody really liked is we took our top 16, the top 8, got to pick from the next 8 as to who were going to be the pick your poison.
150s are crazy though, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I mean.
And I think Matt Davis was the only one whose pick backfired on him. He was the only one who got beaten by his pick your poison. But Isaac ended up coming out on top. Now, what's interesting about that as well, Doug Parker went 13 skins and 13 skins. Got the first 7, collected the remaining skins in his first 2 rounds. That was huge. Great money and whatnot. He actually had 4 more overall skins than Isaac, but they didn't come at exactly the right time. And in the final match, it was Isaac versus Parker. They went 13. They went into sudden, I think 14 frames. They went into sudden death, and Isaac pulled it out 7-6. So he had four fewer skins, and Parker won $100 more than he did.
Champion.
Right, so he won just under $1,000, and
I love that.
And Isaac won just under $900. But what a great final match! And that Pro Series skins, fun to play. Philip was thrilled to death to get past his first round as well. It was, you could feel the excitement.
Philip was giddy.
Yeah,
I mean, he was so freaking. I was so pumped up for him. That was great stuff.
I was putting ice on the bruises on my right arm the entire weekend.
I still love this event. The fact that these players get the chance to come in for free to play for this $5,000 or $10,000 purse, depending on which major it is.
The super major.
Yeah. It's awesome, man.
And remind me, how much does that cost for pros with their jersey on to get in?
It's free. I mean, they get to play for free, so it's good stuff. But
nice.
Hey, if you're out there,
payout.
chime in, share the taco tonight. We'd love to hear from you, though. Make some comments. Who's going to win one of these majors coming up? Talk to us.
Yeah, let us know. And that's during the broadcast. I heard you doing this. I think in Toledo, you're saying, tell me about your first major. I was talking about my first one. Was that a major that I came up to in Hamilton where you were outdoor in the street? You would close down that street?
Yeah, we were talking about that this weekend since we were up there, a bunch of players.
That's the very first one I ever attended. And I said that
might
was...
have been Russell Tabers, I think I was talking about that with.
That was when I learned the phrase that would define my relationship with you in particular. And it was the phrase most associated with Frank Geers is...
Squirrel?
No. Well, actually, yes. Second is, have you seen my phone? Has anyone seen my phone? That's the number one thing. That's immediately, you were up in the back of a truck, I think, running stuff. It's like, has anybody seen my phone? Has anybody seen my phone? I'm like, okay, that's got to be a one-off. It is not. And then I think my first actual indoor major was Miami Valley Gaming up there. right there on the racetrack.
Oh, yeah.
That big room right
that was
outside the
That was a
racetrack.
fun one. Yeah.
And,
that was another good one. I mean, I think there was maybe a $20,000 purse tournament, and that was free too for our players to come out and compete in.
Yeah, that
another
was
10,000
awesome.
plus. I think it was 10 for first place. I think it was 20,000 total.
Yeah.
But whatever it was a great time.
It
man.
was a one-off tournament, and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, and anytime you have an opportunity to go back into your history and share that stuff, we'd love to know where you first kind of came across the ACO, and at that time came across cornhole at this level to begin with. And,
Wait, real quick, I just want to say hi to our friends from Texas, particularly Chris Gore, who is down in Texas at College Station. So hopefully we'll see you out in Lubbock. That's our next big one coming up in a couple weeks out there in Lubbock, Texas.
Yep, and so to wrap up, put a fine point on the Pro Series skins. Isaac Hurt beats Douglas Parker, sudden death in the 14th frame. Actually, congratulations to him. How about Bryce Jefferson and Riley Brewster showing up there and coming in basically tied for third at that point? Great games played by both of those juniors. Nicely done there as well. In World Doubles, in Tier 2, it was Jody Thurman and Fred Rice. Tier 3, Sean Ross and Mike Barnes. Tier 4, Jamie Duran and Donnie Moore. Congratulations. And the World Doubles champions, he's going to keep picking them until somebody beats him. And the very first thing they said when they came over was, "We proved you wrong." How about Kobe Baskins and Zach Dawson? They played amazing cornhole on center court.
They did. And they beat a hell of a team, man.
Yes,
There's
they did.
No doubt
They beat
about it.
Caleb and Isaac, and Colby was he was effusive. I mean, he was really excited. He knew he had screwed up a couple of shots here and there, but he had Zach picking him up, and Zach had a really nice pro series as well. We figured he is Doug Parker. When they do a biography about Douglas Parker, Zach Dawson is going to be Doug Parker in his 20s, and Doug Parker will be Doug Parker. And then there was somebody else we found. Oh, then maybe Ashton Watkins. When he puts his hat on with the flat bill,
oh, yeah.
We might have a whole string. We could do a whole biography on Douglas Parker.
Whole series
using those guys. But great stuff. Tanner Neal and Trey Brown had a really strong run as well. First time I'd seen either of them on center court, and they threw money. They threw lights out. It was good stuff. Let's see, in singles, and this tier play was a monster in singles. Tier 2, Alex Gillum. Congratulations. Tier 3, Jason Highfield ended up taking the overall Tier 3, but in bracket A, I think he was the overall Tier 3 winner. But how about this? In bracket B, Aiden McDade. In bracket C, Steve Mullis. Good to see Steve Mullis out there. Bracket D, it was Donnie Moore. And in singles, Tier 4, Tristan Prestige or Prestage. Either one. I tend to put a French accent on most things, even though it's probably wrong. But Tristan, congratulations for Tier 4. And look at this murderer's row in ACO World Singles. Brian Higginbotham and Zach Lewis tied for 7th. Michael Chittenden and Daniel Wine. Daniel Wine, who you'd continuing to see and hear his name popping up, tied for 5th. Nate Stevens. Again, he's continuing to climb back up that ladder at 4th. CJ Sleganson 3rd. And Caleb and Isaac, a rematch of a rematch of a rematch of a rematch. I could do that probably about 9,000 times.
Did I tell you I warmed up CJ?
Yeah. I saw you.
It
take
only lasted
for
for
that.
2 frames.
Yeah.
He didn't really get enough chance to warm up.
He was your first round match. Yeah, that was nice. I saw you take credit for warming him up.
Yeah,
that was nice. I'm like, there's no way you weren't going to do that. But
He's
Isaac
a good kid.
Takes home the Pro Series. Caleb takes home the singles win. So congratulations. And so, yeah, a couple of first-time purple jerseys, Colby Baskins and Zach Dawson. First-time purple jerseys. First purple jersey for Caleb Rogers and for Taylor Owens in this major. So congratulations and very, very well done. Again, the next Pro Series Thanksgiving weekend in South Bend, Indiana. Again, we come in and we're going to be humping to get it all set up early on Friday morning, so it may run a little bit longer, but it's going to be a big time. You know the facility. It's always a lot of fun. And South Bend, just a really cool town. If you get a chance to go out and spend some time and just go over, whether you're a Notre Dame fan or not, go over and check that campus out. It'll if it doesn't reset your ticker to calm, nothing will, because it's really a beautiful place. Our survey winners, reminder, the surveys are out for Spooky Nook in Hamilton. 3 or 4 reminders have been set out, but make sure you fill those out. That's valuable information, and in turn, we want to give you value for having done it. Free singles and a doubles registration in an upcoming major, which I think is a $120 value, if I'm not mistaken. So just for filling out the survey, if you get chosen at random, you'll have that opportunity to use that towards future tickets, which saves you some money, and it gives us some valuable feedback to share with the cities that we go to. Atlantic City, Terry Sonder of Pennsylvania, congratulations. Thank you for filling out your survey. And how about Jody Thurman? He filled it out for Chicago, and very nicely done. He's from Kentucky, of course, the Bluegrass State, and he's got himself a free singles and a doubles registration for an upcoming major as well. And this was kind of fun. I mean, everybody laughed because Kim Dice came down up. I don't know where she was, but came to Spooky Nook and came to Hamilton. But Chad couldn't come to this one, and everybody's like, "Well, yeah, he's got a wedding and a ring to pay for." After everybody saw the ring from Atlantic City, which you could see from the International Space Station, it's like, "Well, yeah, he's home working probably right now to pay for that ring." But she brought with her kids, and I'll hit it on the backside.
Yeah,
I'll hit it on the backside of this. A lot of you know who I'm talking about, but you might not have known that this is who this was. So the best way to show this and explain this to you is a very, very small episode of basically Kim and Kim's Cornhole Adventure.
This week on Chad and Kim's Cornhole Adventure, our next stop for season 20, Hamilton, Ohio. Unfortunately, Chad had to work all weekend, so it was just me and the kids this time. Spooky Nook at Champions Mill is an awesome venue, especially to play host to over 500 players. This weekend, I wasn't the only Dice that got a moment in the spotlight. My little man, Bo, became known on the live stream as the VR Kid, as he got spotted in the background playing his VR, just living his best life. We did get a small break on Saturday, and we were able to go to Wings on Brookwood, and let me tell you, they are the best wings I've ever had in my life. I mean, we've been to Buffalo, but these wings were even better. We didn't have a lot of extra time on this trip to do anything other than cornhole, but it was an awesome weekend. Thank you again, as always, to all of our sponsors and to Spooky Nook for hosting such a great major. And stay tuned to see where we head next on Chad and Kim's Cornhole Adventures.
How about Bo? The VR Kid.
The VR Kid is what I love, man.
You can see him off of ACO Center Court 2, where the CBC guys were calling them out. We didn't have a wall up there at the end because we thought that's where they were going to put their bag booth, and the bag booth was going to be the background. But they set up in a different spot, so we got to watch him play virtual reality games for a while, and then we put one up there, and you were getting booed. Everybody was blaming you. It was like, more people are watching him.
I wanted him to be there. You guys told me.
It's all your fault all the time. Duh. But that was fun. Those kids played hard. They played hard. They crashed hard. But Bo, the VR Kid, how much fun was that to watch?
The VR Kid.
So good. And Ricky Singleton Sing South Bend is a great tournament. A.T. Klinger. That was awesome. You are correct.
Lynn loved watching them on the VR or on the live stream.
Yeah. And Chris Gore said thanks for the shout out. Also, Aaron Lambert said I won my first major in South Bend last season. I guess it's time to win my first pro series there this season. Absolutely. There's no time like the present. Well, that weekend. But yeah, why not, man? Get up there and make it happen. That's the whole point. Brent, if you got comments and stuff, who do you think's going to win the next pro series? Although you don't know who the roll call is. But we had over 80 pros in the Spooky Nook.
Pros.
Yeah, that came out to compete for those 16. And it was a pretty sweet 16, I got to be honest with you. Those who made it certainly deserve to, and those who did not can either lick their wounds and come again or tighten up that game and come in there again. We had quite a few ties, but we didn't. The top 16 really is a pretty clean cut line. We had some who who have said, it's harder to do than you think, and I know that you know that.
I was
to
scoring
throw those frame games.
I was scoring one of the 6 courts, and I did not have a player that threw 150. But I can't believe that we actually had 2 players. You said that scored a 150. You said Isaac and who was the other one?
Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to.
But
look.
anyway, who was it?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and look.
But impressive, man, that we had. So just thinking back to what was it, 18 months, 20 months ago?
Yeah.
When Douglas Parker almost threw the perfect game at our Panama City Beach thing, and we still have yet to have a player throw the perfect game.
Yeah, he threw a 150.
So we're throwing it out there. Who thinks? Start naming some people you think is going to throw the first perfect game for the ACO in the Pro Series. I mean, start giving us some names, man. Who is it going to be? Because it was almost Douglas Parker. We've had people get to that 150 mark, but it is so hard, man. It just takes just one missed bag.
Yeah, it was Zach Dawson.
I will say, I know it doesn't count. It wasn't recorded, but Isaac Hurt did a perfect frame game in a championship world.
No, yeah, Isaac threw.
Oh, so this is interesting. The great Oz back there is talking about how Isaac Hurt threw a perfect 156 in an actual championship game.
World
Championship, 13
game.
straight 4-baggers. Yep, that's
13
crazy.
straight 4-baggers. So we actually should go back.
It's not on the records.
Well, was it live streamed? I mean, was it live streamed? Can we take that thing and do a fast forward, 30-second? That would be so cool.
What was the championship match?
That would be cool as hell, dude.
With other bags in the way.
With other bags in a way. That would be a really cool thing. Perfect game in a game
Isaac
at the
Hurt
World Championships.
Threw a 150. Zach Dawson threw a 150. Parker threw a 146. Barnett threw a 146. Tabers a 144. Bryce Jefferson a 143, as did Riley Brewster, and Matt Davis snuck in there, tied with Austin Douglas at a 139.
That's 139 is a huge number.
That's a big cut line. That's a big cut line right there. So congratulations to all. Hey, looking ahead to Salt Lake City, I know you're going that direction. I'm heading to Medford to cover both. And I think Saturday we'll have streaming from Medford, so you can check all that out. And there's going to be a special announcement out there as well. So make sure that you're watching on Saturday. But Salt Lake City, our registration mystery bag winners, congratulations to Colby Harmstrom from Utah and Vale Codling from Idaho. They've got the mystery bag wins for being one of the first 100 to register. In Medford, it's going to be Rose Zolling from California and Robert Castillo from Oregon.
Nice.
So that's going to be, those are our winners for the mystery bag. And when we get to Medford, don't forget, the Welcome Bash is actually going to be at the Rogue X Center from 6 to 10 o'clock that evening. And that's a great party. I mean, it hasn't been there before.
No, and I'm excited for the fact that there's going to be enough boards out that people will be able to actually play cornhole. I mean, the parties in the past have been awesome because they're providing, free pizza, I think a couple drinks and stuff like that for everybody. And we had a couple cornhole courts in the past. Now we get all the pizza, all the drinks and stuff like that, like we had before. But we actually have the opportunity to play some cornhole and enjoy each other's company.
And there's an invite-only pro-am on their end. They wanted to find out what pros were coming, and they want to match up. So they've got the Chamber of the Chamber in Medford and Jackson County President and CEO is coming out. The RCC Athletic Director and Head Volleyball Coach is coming out.
Nice.
Christine's coming out. KOBI 5's Maximus Osborne is coming out. One of the local TV, I'm assuming, TV celebrities. And the KDRV weatherman Matt Hoffman is coming out. So we're going to be hanging and banging with some TV stars, local bigwigs in a pro-am, so that'll be fun too.
There's no other city that embraces, besides maybe Owensboro. Yeah, there's a few other ones out there, but Medford, Oregon on the West Coast is the best. I mean, and I think I just saw, Finn, as I'm looking at the ad here for the Medford Kickoff Bash, that was it Fat Kid Food Company?
Fat Kid Food Company is going to be there providing the food, so I'm all in. Even though I'm not playing. I think they might have just named that after me, and I appreciate that. Thank you. But during the tournament, during Friday and Saturday, there's going to be food trucks, music, open cornhole courts for anybody to come out and play. So it's all going to be set and ready to rock and roll. So Medford, that Welcome Bash, don't miss it. Thursday, 6 to 10 at Rogue X, the venue where the major is going to be held. Go ahead.
I was just saying, somebody I haven't seen made a comment ever, and I love it. He's back in. Andrew Langworthy, man. What's up, brother?
How about you?
How about you? How about you?
Yeah, the Langworthys were back at it, and we saw I think 2 of the boys, and Pops was there, right?
Oh yeah, Pops was there, man.
Yeah.
Jonathan.
Yep. So that was fun to see, and but who else?
You know who the other brothers that were there this weekend? Come on, give me a little laugh.
The other.
How are they doing, man?
Who?
The best, the Weehies. You don't know the Weehies?
Oh, the Weehies.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
now.
well, I didn't know that's how they pronounce because I went to
the
school.
Langworthys and the Weehies.
I saw the
were back
Weehies
in the
there,
house.
but
love it.
I went to school with a kid named Mark, and he spelled the last name, but it was Mark Y. That's how he pronounced it. Spelled it the same way, but pronounce it Y. So when you're like Weehee, I'm like, I don't know what you're doing.
Weehee fits them.
Yeah, Weehee is pretty much
it's
their
perfect,
name
man.
and their slogan. I love it. Well, the save the date is out there. You can find it pinned to the top of the Facebook page for all the upcoming majors. Lubbock and La Crosse are coming up on the same weekend, October 25 and 26. Registration for that ends this Sunday. Again, we've been over the new registration policy. There is no early and late. There's register online by the Sunday before, and you get the cheaper pricing. Walk-up prices are going to be higher, but the Sunday before the major, that's the best pricing to register online. It also helps us get the roll call out there, and so make sure if you know that you're going either Lubbock or La Crosse that you get in by this Sunday. Today's Tuesday. Between now and Sunday at midnight, your chance to register online for the best pricing. You can't beat that. And I think as we look ahead to this weekend in Salt Lake City and in Medford, again, we'll end the way we always do, wondering, scratching our heads, who's going to win all these different divisions? And then we'll go to the guy who knows almost all the time who's going to win all the events. It's almost like he's got an inside scoop or something, like he watches a lot of these players and maybe has played against them. That would be our own Mississippi Ninja with a little something we like to call Time to Fill.
Welcome to another episode of Time to Fill. This week we're headed for 2 majors out west. But how about Spooky Nook? I'm still excited. Kobe Baskins and Zach Dawson's taking down the doubles against the Hertz in Spooky Nook. But Caleb comes back and takes down singles. And how about the Pro Series? What a blast. It was a blast to play in. It was a blast to broadcast. It was just a fun freaking day to do in the Pro Series. Now, let's head on out to Salt Lake City, Utah. It's going to be a Vegas day in Salt Lake City. Let's start out with women. I'm going with Juana Karash to take down the women. In seniors, I got to go with Michael Mann to take down the seniors. In juniors, I got to go with Thomas Latham, who's from that area. His dad is one of our video guys. In doubles, I'm going with Cecil Hicks and Michael Mann. And in singles, I'm going to take Cecil Hicks to take this down. And that's going to be my picks for Salt Lake City. Now let's head on over to Medford, Oregon, where it's going to be a Kim Dice and Chad kind of day. In women, I got to go with Kim Dice. In juniors, Julian Lopez. I know he's already won a purple jersey out west before. In seniors, Mike Worth is going to be in this field, and I predict he's going to take this down. In co-ed, Chad and Kim. But watch out for Joey Persinger and Michelle Persinger also in this field. In doubles, of course, Chad and Kim to take down the doubles. And in singles, I'm going to go with Kim to outlast all the men and her husband and her fiance or whoever he is to take that down in Medford, Oregon. And that's going to be my picks this week for Time to Fill. If you think I should pick you, prove me wrong.
I love that he's staring you down at the end, daring you to prove him wrong now. And while we were away, it occurred to me, because I'm so anxious to get my Mississippi Ninja costume on and go trick-or-treating, I was a week ahead of myself getting ready for Halloween. The Lubbock and La Crosse tournaments are on October 24 and 25, those majors. So you have, I said this Sunday, because I've had it beaten into my head by one person whose name I won't mention, but it rhymes with April Clemens. And it's actually a week from this Sunday.
Yeah,
25th the Sunday before the major. The Sunday before the major. Yep. That is not this Sunday, but if you did register before this Sunday, that would be awesome. Anyway, the Sunday before the major. The Sunday.
I think that's October 20th, because that 26th 25th, 26th is the major that weekend. So, yep, that's exactly right, Finn.
So
You're all over it, baby.
it'll be Sunday the 20th, correct, is the online deadline to get the best pricing. But it's always the Sunday before the major.
Boom.
Say it with me.
The Sunday before the major.
Very good.
Midnight.
All right, well, I think, yeah, midnight. Online. God. Well, I totally screwed the pooch on the end of this one, didn't I? Anyway, bottom line is it's time to give you your Taco Tuesday bag. Everybody came out to Spooky Nook and had a good time. It's so great to see so many familiar smiling faces and so many new faces and you putting smiles on those new faces. Thank you so much for being a big part of it. Got a couple smaller majors down the line here. And again, like we always say, the ones we just did allow us to do the ones we're about to do. We're just going to continue to grow. We're going to make them bigger and better all the way around. And for those who participated in that $5,000 additional purse with no entry fee for the Pro Series, you got 3 more of those and a $10,000 purse at the Super Major. You are just one frame game away from being able to score big money for no entry fee. I like that payout. Anyway, bottom line is Taco Tuesday belongs to you. Cheers to you. I'm Finn, the loudmouth of the ACO. He is Frank. Here's the Cornhole Dude reminding you.
Keep on pitching.
American Cornhole Organization, the sanctioning body and authority on cornhole since 2005. Scan now to get active, stay active, and compete at any skill level. Join the ACO family now at AmericanCornhole.com.
Hi, I'm Rich Pyle, the host of Hole Nation, where we share everything this cornhole and a lot more. Follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and catch our new videos every Wednesday at 7. And remember, whether it's sticky or slick side down, bring it.